I really like bongs. I can remember one of my first ever water pipes was this little 2-stage beaker. It was like half blue, half clear, probably about 10 inches tall. Had a little downstem in it, obviously, and then it had a tree perk in the middle. It was a 2-stage. And it had this ice catch on it that was just a few inches tall. It was about the same length as a lighter. I would put my lighter in the top, and I wouldn't really use ice in there, and I would just hand it to people. That way I didn't have to hand the piece and the lighter. I would just kind of get sick of doing that at the sesh. So I just put the lighter in the top and handed it to people. And I remember this piece because everybody's like, hey, bro, you got a lighter? And like, you could hear it rattling around in the top. So it's just like Stoner's not really paying 100% attention. I'm like, yeah, bro, it's in the top. Just grab the lighter. And that was one of my first water pipes. Very cool piece, very memorable. It really stepped up my seshing for a while. But you know, like many pieces, it didn't last long. Months and months go by. I didn't do a great job maintaining it. I didn't keep my pieces as clean as I do now and clean it every day. So one day I go to clean it. It's nice and dirty. The downstem's a little stuck. And I do what a lot of people do when the downstem's stuck. Yoinked on it and I broke it. Snapped the glass. I had pieces rattling around on the inside. I had half of it on the outside. I had little glass shards in the sink. And I basically just made my bong not a bong anymore. Like, you could still hit it without the downstem, but it wasn't as good. That little middle tree perk or whatever was kind of pathetic. It wasn't doing a great job. So here's where I made a mistake. Instead of like getting a new downstem or replacing the part that I broke, I just decided that I needed a whole new piece. I was like, oh, this little adapter broke on my piece and I can't use it anymore. I'll get a piece that doesn't use a downstem and then I don't have to worry about my downstem breaking. I remember feeling like so victorious when I switched from pieces that had a downstem to a piece that didn't have a downstem. And I'm like, ha ha ha, I'll never have that issue again. And years later, here I am years later, I love downstems. Most of the pieces that I use have a downstem. I hate them because they break so easy. That's probably the piece of glass that breaks the most for people. If you use a piece with a downstem, you got your piece, your downstem, and your bowl. If you don't break your bowl, you're probably breaking your downstem, right? It happens a lot. I recommend people get beakers because I like them so much, but I always say, make sure you have an extra downstem lying around. They're not expensive. You're going to break yours. But that's also why I love them, right? That's one of the things. That's going to break before your pieces. See, when I broke my first downstem and my first piece, I didn't break the whole piece. I still had a functioning bong. I really just needed a new $15 downstem, and I could have kept using that bong again. I think I gave it away or traded it to somebody. They can be hard to find. Head shops don't always have the best sizes, but if you do a little bit of digging online, you can find a lot of stuff and you can get the exact sizes you need. I actually had some custom ones made by the homie Esco Glass not too long ago. These are really cool. Another reason that I like downstems or that I love downstems is they really can change the percolation of your piece. If all your percolation is coming through the downstem, you can really change up the piece and how it hits a lot just by changing the downstem. If you see these, it's not like a wide open, lot of airway to go through. It's really just two smaller holes on there. These are great for vaping hits. When I use like my freight train or my flower pot, those downstems are great. This is a more common style where it's just open. It's got some slits on the side. This allows more air to pass through. Good for combustion hits when you want to get like a big pull. But I like that I can change it up. If I'm going to do like combusted rips on a beaker, I'm going to use this one. And if I want to do like vape hits, I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to change the hits like drastically. This one allows a lot more air through than this one. So on this one, when I'm doing vape hits, I can pull really slowly and get like a lot of vapor. I can't pull as slow on something that has more airflow, because I'm just going to be getting more and more air, where this will just let me milk the vapor off of the bowl. It really is wild how different your hits can be just switching up the downstem. And I've seen a lot of cool ones. I pulled this out of one of my larger pieces. This provides a lot of percolation. We got the double donut right here. Lots of slits in there. This makes a lot of bubbles in the piece. I'm looking into getting like a crushed glass version of this soon. Crushed glass provides some amazing percolation, but I've seen downstems where the end of it is just a bunch of crushed glass that the air has to go through. So that creates a lot of bubbles of different sizes. So a downstem can change the way your piece hits. You can get a lot of variety just by having different downstems for your piece. And it also helps keep your piece clean. This is one of the reasons that I really like downstems. If you've ever cleaned a beaker bong after a combustion sesh, you'll realize that the downstem is by far the dirtiest part of the bong. Most of the resin buildup, a lot of the ash just gets trapped and stuck in the downstem. So by being able to remove that and clean it, you can just run a Q-tip through here, a long one, or a nylon brush. These are really easy to clean. clean. And because you can remove it, it's a lot easier to clean. I mean, I've had a lot of straight tubes with 3-4 percolators in there, and it's hard to clean the ones in the middle. Like, you got to shake a bunch of stuff through. You got your ISO, your salt in there, whatever you want. But like, I can literally just spray some ISO through here, run a brush through it, and it is done. I don't need to do anything else. So the fact that you can remove it does help maintain your piece and keep it cleaner. But because you're moving it and because you're taking it out, sometimes if you're not careful with it, you can start to chip the glass on your joint. I mean, you can break this pretty easily by just yoinking it out and having it rattle inside of the joint. You really want to pull these out slowly. If you ever get your downstem stuck, I might have to make a short or something on this soon. You never want to pull it out. You never want to pull it out because that's literally when it's going to break. You're never going to pull it straight out like King Arthur with the sword. It's going to pull and you're going to bend it and snap it against something. You always want to twist it. You want to warm it up. I like to run hot water. If you got this in a joint right here, I'll just run hot water on the outside, try to warm it up as much as I can. Maybe I sprayed some ISO around it beforehand, trying to loosen it up. But I never want to pull it. I want to twist it. If it's stuck, try wiggling it left and right, short little movements. If it won't twist, it won't pull out. If you can't turn it, you can't pull it out. So just a little tip there. I might make a short on that and go into more detail. But I figured this would be an interesting video to talk about downstems. Also, next month, June 20th, 6/20, we're doing an all cart sesh. No flower hits, no real dabs. We're doing carts only, June 20th. Come get high with me on Twitch. Link your Amazon Prime and give me that Jeff Bezos weed money. And if you haven't tried using hot water in your water pipe yet, check out this video. This is why I think hot hits are better. Have a lit day, my dudes.